Hey everyone, welcome to the Dallo Podcast. This episode we're going to talk about the new Like a Dragon games that are coming out and what our thoughts are, our feelings on the series at the moment, and what we expect from all three of these. And I'm with Dai again, since he's also my friend, fellow resident lover of that series. So, of course, the first trailer we got was the Like a Dragon Ishin.
Yes, that was at the State of Play, Sony State of Play. So they announced that, which was really awesome. And people have been begging to release that game for at least the past 13 years with no luck, and now they're finally doing a whole remake, which is even better. It's going to play better, look better, and it's going to be fantastic. I think this is, like, even if you haven't played the other ones, this is a good place to start, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not actually technically canon. It's like a what if, or their ancestors, but it's just a really cool side story, but it has an excellent story, apparently. I haven't played it. This is going to be my first time, but from what I hear, it's going to be an excellent game.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. That was definitely one of those things I was like, ooh, what's this? Holy crap, it's Kiryu, and then he's all dressed in samurai. This looks awesome. What is this? And then, of course, you start seeing all the other characters that you've seen in the Yakuza series as the other characters in the game. So I'm like, This looks really good. I love anything set in feudal Japan, or, you know, that whole pre-modern changeover at when, like, Japan was going through that change.
And the good thing is they're actually making quite a bit of additions that weren't in the original Japanese. Like, they're adding the 3 lieutenants from Yakuza 0, which Awano, Daisuke, and I forget what the other one's name is, but they're adding them. They're adding some characters from Like a Dragon 7 or Yakuza 7, a lot of people know it as, which are in Zao and Mabuchi, and they're probably adding a lot more that wasn't in the original game, from what I'm understanding. So
that'll be awesome. Yeah. And, you know, honestly, I'm either okay with them just going completely, you know, Japanese with English subtitle for it, or they can do what they did with the Like a Dragon, you know, 7, having a full voice cast. That was really good for what we got. And so I look forward to it. I think it's going to be kind of a nice change to go from the beat 'em up style of the original traditional Yakuza series, and then with Like a Dragon, which is the more now RPG style, having this, you know, walking around as a samurai, going around taking down people with swords and things. So I look forward to seeing how that's going to be. But yeah, looks really good. I don't know if they give a release date on it.
I don't think they did yet. Let me double check real quick. I don't think they actually gave a real release date as of yet, but I think it's probably going to be next year. But if I had to venture, yes. Okay, so let's see. February 21st, 2023 is a guesstimation of when it's going to be released. Okay. And that's actually going to be, because the first one got released was February 22nd, 2014. So it's almost, 9 years exactly from the original date.
Yeah.
Which is kind of awesome that they would do that. But yeah, I'm hyped for it. And I think it's going to be an excellent game. I think it's a good, probably, start to the series, you know, going back to like the very ancestry beginning of the series, even though it's considered non-canon, but it's just a cool way to get used to the characters. I don't think there'll be any spoilers, just like some character appearances that you wouldn't see till much later in the series if you start like from 0 or something.
Yeah. And so technically, this, if they decide to make this into a series on its own, set in, you know, in feudal Japan, I think that'd be pretty cool. I really do. I think, you know, I would definitely be into that. Anytime I get to have like Ghost of Tsushima is fantastic. We got this new game called Rise of the Ronin. That looks great. We'll definitely make a video on that one. But I'm always looking forward to. I'm always big into Tenchu and the Onimusha series, and I'm always looking for Capcom to go, "Hey, we're gonna make Onimusha 5 or 4 or whatever." And so since they did that, the last one we got was what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dawn of Dreams. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams. You know that I didn't get to play that one. That was one of the ones I missed out on. So I'm hoping that we'll get something in the near future. If Capcom will get off the bandwagon of Street Fighter and
Resident
Evil and Monster Hunter. But
yeah, and I think if the Yakuza series keeps succeeding and selling well, I think they'll eventually go back to Kuroyo Ryuga Gotoku Shinsho, which is the PSP games. There was 2 of them, and that would be really cool. Maybe if they just kind of like use the same character, they could just kind of have Ichiban. That could be the next person in line to take over, and just kind of erase that history of those games, but use kind of like the same foundation of that character and continue the story from there. That could be a possibility, because but I think because Ichiban is older now, because he was he 42 when he got out of prison? 40?
Yeah, he was like, because I think he was in his 20s when he went out of prison. He was there for what
25 years?
25. Yeah, it was on there for, because he only supposed to be there for 3, and it was not. I have to look it up, but it was like, man, he was like already in his 40s when he came out. And you think about like he's younger than Kiryu, so I'm like, man,
yeah, like a lot of people didn't catch on that it's kind of like a resemblance to part 1 when Kiryu sacrificed himself to go to jail. It's kind of what happened, what Nishiki would have happened, and Kiryu would have probably ended up like Nishiki or Tendo, if that makes sense. And it's kind of like a reflection of the carp and the dragon, and then the dragon fish and the dragon, like vice versa. So it's kind of really cool that they thought that out, because it was very cool how they connected the whole circle of Yakuza, I guess.
Well, if you think about it too, is also the fact that it's like the cycle continues, but in different ways within the timeline. So, which brings us to the fact that they had a did they have another trailer for that game before with the announcements with Like a Dragon 8 and the Like a Dragon side story, the Gaidan?
Is it like the man who erased his name, or is that the one you're talking about, or the?
Well, they had that one when they did when Ryu Gotoku did the trailers and stuff they did yesterday or whatever, that announced all these new trailers for the games. Was there another trailer for
Yakuza 8?
Ishin?
I think there was. Yeah, it was a little bit different, if I recall. Because they did introduce the 3 lieutenants in that one. They didn't do that.
Okay. So I have to look.
It's a little bit different. But yeah, it shows you that, I guess it's released in February, so it shows you that it's definitely, up to par, and they're probably almost done just finishing a few touches, what they need to do, and then ready to distribute it in February. So.
That's the other trailer we got, was the man who forgot his name, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Which is Like a Dragon Gaidan, so it's a side story.
Yes.
And it looks like it's going to be following what happened to Kiryu after Tekken 7. Not Tekken 7. Jeez, I'd love to have him in Tekken 7. No.
Yeah, Yakuza, or Like a Dragon.
Like a Dragon, Like a Dragon 7.
Yeah, the names.
So, the trailer was pretty long. At least, almost 2 minutes, maybe, I think.
Oh, yeah, they definitely showed you that it's going to be quite a bit of story, which is known for Yakuza. There's a lot of talking, but it's a lot of great story, and I'm glad that Like a Dragon 8 or Yakuza 8 or whatever you want to call it now, Gotoku 8, It's definitely, and they're switching up. You know, like part eight's going to be turn based. Ishin's going to be, you know, like more probably I would say hack and slash with the katanas and the different and versus the guns and feudal Japan, and then probably Gaidan is going to be more like the original, just beat 'em up Yakuza style. So you're not really probably gonna get bored because it's 3 different play styles per game. So which is really cool.
So and then so that looks good. I wonder how long it's gonna be. Like we were just talking about, because and it was a side story, but technically, you know, Judgment is a side story, and that's going to be getting the treatment of being the main beat 'em up style going forward. So
yeah, I don't think I think Judgment's going to change because they've released Kaido files, and since they're probably going to drop Talk, the main character that was in Judgment, and replace him with Kaido, because it's just a kind of a pain to deal with the licensing of his agency. So they'll probably in the future like they'll say, oh, Talk had to do something else, or he just won't be around, and they'll probably just use it does suck, and it kind of ruins it does. They could change his face and voice, but that would kind of ruin it as well. It'd be like changing an actor. So I guess it might just be cool to maybe kill him or something, or send him off, or maybe I don't know what they could do to fix it, but I know they want to continue the story with them, or at least that way, or maybe I don't know, they'll figure out something, and maybe that's why they did Gaiden. They're like, okay, well maybe we could do something else, and I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think they'll figure it out. And, but they definitely need to contact Namco and say, oh, please have Kiryu in the next Tekken 8. They need to volunteer.
We need to start this petition, everyone. Anytime you do something, Kiryu and Tekken 8, and then just do like hashtag or at Harada, so he knows, and then that needs to be done. But the other trailer was the Like a Dragon 8 or Yakuza 8. Starts out with, you know, Ichiban walking in the distance, and he's actually coming closer to the screen, walking down Kamurocho, one of the streets, and then you hear his voice, you hear Kiryu's voice, you have a couple other characters' voices, and then somebody steps up beside him, and you're like, who's this? Who's with him? And then, of course, when he walks up, it's both Kiryu and Ichiban, and Kiryu's rocking a different hairstyle with it's all salt and pepper. It's all down instead of his traditional, style he had. So that's really cool, having him be possibly another main character.
And he probably won't be called Kiryu. They'll probably change his name, and that's why I think that's what we're gonna find out what happens in Gaiden. So I'm not sure how long Gaiden's probably gonna be. It might only be like maybe a 20-30 hour game, or like a side game. Might not be like a full like 60-100 hour like Yakuza type game like the later ones were, but just enough to get the story by and see what he's doing and connect the story of what happened between probably 7 and 8. And we know that Judgment is technically perhaps canon now, because Zhao did make an appearance in Judgment 2, so that does connect the stories between the things. They just know they don't cross paths, at least as of yet. So that'd be a really cool game. You know, it's like, hey, we're all together. Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to them. I think that this is a really great time to jump into the Yakuza series, and I'm glad it's getting as much love as it deserved. And because I mean, I honestly didn't play a lot of them back in the day. I missed out on the PS2 releases for 1 and 2.
Same.
I didn't even know that Mark Hamill did the voice of Hajima.
Yeah, he did pretty good, surprisingly. I did go back and played it, and it did pretty. And the thing is, I'm crazy. I was like, because like Yakuza, like it was always there at like my local game stores. I'm like, okay, it's always here. I'm gonna pick it up next time. I'm gonna pick it up next time. I never did for like 5-8 years straight. I just kept passing it, and then I rarely ever saw the second one. The second one was more harder to find, but the first one was always there. And I was like, okay, well, I'll pick it up next time. And I don't know if I'm glad because, I think they did an excellent job with Zero, and then Kiwami did an excellent job updating the cameras and all the flaws the first one originally did have. So I'm kind of glad that I did miss out on it and kept procrastinating and missed out on it. So yeah, so I'm actually kind of glad. I think it is a perfect time, even if you maybe perhaps you do want to go back later on or go find the PSP ones, because the PSP ones are only about 12 hours, but they're kind of like Judgment, and they're definitely non-canon. They're just their own little story and character on the side. So but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, within your look they'll remake them, so and it
yeah
does as well.
Exactly.
And it's good to have a series that is sticking around. It's sad because when I saw the state of play, and I this is something I do want to talk about further when we dive into that at some point, what our thoughts on the state of play and the Nintendo Direct. But I used to look forward to certain games, and it's hard not seeing a Metal Gear game coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I understand Kojima's not there anymore and Konami sucks, but I still always hope that there's going to be another Metal Gear game. And I know there's the rumor that they're remaking Twin Snakes, the GameCube version, or at least doing a remaster of it. That'd be nice to be able to have the first Metal Gear game on a modern console. And
heck yeah! Well,
since we're not getting any kind of love for Konami to put the collection on modern consoles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yep. No, yeah, I'm definitely think they should, because there's a fine line between overdoing the series and then not doing it. As we mentioned earlier, is Capcom's definitely overdoing. What is it? Monster Hunter, Resident
Evil, yeah.
Yeah, so it's that's kind of burning out, but it's and then maybe perhaps, like I said, Yakuza is putting out more stuff, but they're switching up the gameplay styles and the different types of stories, Feudal Japan. Judgment was more of a detective game, even though it was beat 'em up, and then you have the turn-based battle, which is getting harder to find in the JRPG games. A lot of it's becoming more action-based, and which is fine, but when every game's like that, it's nice to see classic turn-based or JRPG.
Oh yeah. That's one of the things that was great, because it's in the sea, and this is definitely a podcast episode topic right here that I really want to do, but in the sea of modern RPGs going completely action-based instead of turn-based, because they want to cater to the new audience that doesn't have the patience to play a traditional RPG. Like a Dragon was a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they're moving the series into that RPG, and I'm going to be able to get my turn-based fix with that game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And the stories of the series has always been pretty excellent and well thought out, and kind of Scooby-Doo-ish, or you don't know who the mastermind or who the main bad guy truly is till the very end half the time. And so out of all the ones you played so far, or which one's your favorite? Is it Like a Dragon, or which one is your favorite?
I really enjoyed 6 a lot. Kwame was good. Kwame 2, of course, so Dojo done the remake of the second game. I really liked was it Yakuza of the Dead? That was pretty fun.
Oh, yes, they need to redo that one. I forgot about that. Yeah.
But I actually would love to see them just take the rest of the 3, 4, 5 and do a Kwame remake of those, using the new engine, and just redo it again.
They said they weren't going to do it because 3 definitely needs it. 4 did have its flaws, and then 5 you definitely could tell they updated it compared to the 3 and 4. But yeah, 3 definitely needs it the most. But because 3 probably would be one of my favorite. Like I'll say 5 or 6 and 5. Well, Like a Dragon is my favorite right now because
that's my.
It's just different. And then like just Valve, the beat 'em up ones, definitely 5 because they perfected like switching characters, and then it would go probably to 0, and then maybe 3, and then actually 2. 2's up. It's hard to list because like the story, the soundtracks, it's hard. Like probably Kiwami 1 was my least favorite, even though because it's the first one, it was like the shortest story, and I couldn't. The karaoke was too touchy, and I couldn't. Yeah, and so. I don't know, but yeah, all of them are great games, and I definitely should finish Dead Souls, or maybe hopefully they do go back and redo that one. Maybe like another 3, 4, 5 years they could go back and redo it, or make a part 2, and with all the newer characters as well, Ichiban and stuff. So
I honestly, I really think that I do like a Dragon number 7 the most. I thought that I could relate more with Ichiban personally than I could with Kiryu, even though I understood his story and I enjoyed it. I loved playing through his stuff, but I don't know, Ichiban and that cast of characters he's had with him.
Yeah,
great. I love the whole RPG thing. I love the fact he's an RPG fanatic and loves Dragon Quest, and then like he's the only one who sees the enemies turn into different monsters instead of like just random thug here, random businessman, random Yakuza guy, random triad person. It's like
exactly
they turn into like these monsters, even though
it's just his imagination. Yeah. And like 7 had a lot, like I said, a lot of references. Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Quest. What else?
There's so many.
Yeah, there's just a bunch, and it's really cool. And Kiryu is a good character, but like he's just kind of like as the series goes on, he becomes more like I guess humanized because in the beginning he was just kind of like, oh, you have to be mean to be a Yakuza. You kind of have to step on other people because that's the way. Even back in Yakuza 0, they kind of elaborate like Kuze being like, oh, you gotta basically go for it. You can't let anyone push you around, And then basically a lot of people, and they show why everyone rips off the shirt because Kuze did it, and that's where Kiryu learned it from. And so, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and so. And then it shows you because I think if you pay attention, there's some Yakuza bosses that don't do it. Like even the bigger one, like bigger bosses, some of them don't do it because they don't have the full Yakuza spirit in them to to rip off their shirt.
Yeah, it's like once you see my tattoo, you're dead.
Yeah.
It means business.
Exactly. And I hope in the 8 we definitely see cameos. But I'm glad they are passing on the torch, and hopefully, how much I do like Kiryu. I hope he's not in main focus. Maybe he'll help you in some missions or maybe some chapters. But I hope he's just kind of okay. You need to do this on your own, Ichiban, and to become the best Yakuza or best person you can be, But I hope it's going to be great.
Well, that's one of my favorite parts in that towards the end of Like a Dragon was like. When you go inside and you fight Kiryu and then Majima and all them, it's like, holy crap, I didn't even expect these guys to be in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, true. And you played 5, right? I forget. There's that younger kid in 5. Maybe they'll bring him back. The younger Yakuza. Yeah, like the assassin that he was kind of pushed around, but then he was like, okay, I'm going to do things your guy's way now. Maybe they'll bring him back because he was a good character.
Yeah, I can definitely see certain characters coming back that would be kind of a benefit to what's going on. And I'm curious how the story's going to play out, what's going on, and how that's going to affect Ichiban. Because I think he's supposed to be mainly in what was the city he was in?
Not Kamurocho, but the
Yokohama.
Yokohama. Yeah. I forget what the main city was called. But...
Yeah, I had to look it up, but it looked like they were walking down Kamurocho when they were coming. So who knows?
Oh, yeah.
but I kind of like the whole fact that like Ichiban isn't really, he's doing his own thing. He's not like, technically he's not Yakuza anymore.
Yeah. Well, we need to figure out what happens, and they're gonna probably explain this, is what happens to the Yakuza. Maybe someone's gonna bring it back, because technically
yes,
they did
technically they're over. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's what, even in Judgment they kind of elaborate. Oh, that's what RK was. It wasn't really. It was the one of the guys set it up. I'm not gonna spoil it for people who haven't played it, but basically RK was taken over, and it was just like a elaborate no mercy gang that will do whatever to get to its end, pretty much. And so I'm curious to see who the new bad guys is, maybe, or whatever, because I mean it is Ichiban's second game, so maybe it's going to be more even government official kind of stuff, or maybe more like like dirty police or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but
as long as it has all the plot twists and the twists and turns that was going on in Like a Dragon, and everything, it made me want to keep playing the game every time I was playing it, because it was like I do stuff, and it's like I get more story beats, and I'm like, holy crap, this is really good. I need to keep playing.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, I definitely can't wait to see where the story goes from here, and how they improve, or who the bad guys are, or what, because they're definitely have to think it out and make it good, now that so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, anything else you want to add? Because we can probably go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of. I think they're going to be excellent games. Now's the time to do it. If you have not, they're all on PlayStation 4, but if you have PS5, you could update them to play on PS5. I know a lot of them are on Xbox Game Pass,
yep.
And yeah, so it's like now's the best time to get in the series, and definitely recommend them. So
catch up, yeah. All right, everyone. Thanks for checking out this episode. Dai, thank you for coming on. It's always a pleasure.
No problem.
Tell us your memories of the Yakuza series. If you played Like a Dragon, what do you expect for the new games coming out? Are you hyped? What would you like to see? Let us know, and we'll catch you later.